Oh, welcome aboard the Walt Disney World Railroad. Please sit small children to the left or center with adults only on that open right-hand side. While the train's in motion, please remain seated, keeping hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train at all times.
And clippers.
For the comfort and safety of all, there's no eating, drinking, or smoking while aboard the train.
Or stooling.
Our next stop will be Frontierland Station. From Frontierland, we have continuing service to Fantasyland. We'll then complete our 20-minute round trip right back here at Main Street, USA.
Just go to Fantasyland.
Well, we need your card.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I didn't have that stupid thing.
At this time, we have it clear for forward motion. Please remain seated. There's no more seat swapping at this time. Ooh,
Welcome aboard the Walt Disney World Railroad. We're about to take a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom, with stops along the way at Frontierland and Fantasyland. Sit tight and keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs well inside the train. We're leaving Main Street Station right now, so wave it goodbye. But if you stay on board long enough, sooner or later, you'll be back. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias. For an old conductor like me, there's no better place to ride the rails than the Magic Kingdom. By the way, we're traveling on pure steam power. This old locomotive is descended from the mighty train, the golden age of steam. Just like me, it's a little old-fashioned. Now, where else can you travel from the charm of Main Street, USA to the untamed jungles of Africa, Asia, and South America? At the Magic Kingdom, anything is possible, and we're headed straight to the heart of Adventureland. It can get pretty wild in these parts, especially if you run into Captain Jack Sparrow. He's hiding out among those scurrilous pirates of the Caribbean. But whether you're boarding a boat for the Jungle Cruise or flying on Aladdin's magic carpets, when you visit Adventureland, bring an extra dose of bravery. As for me, I'll stay safe and sound right here aboard my train, if you don't mind.
Get me back on track out of football. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to explain this to you guys. I got a lawyer who's going to work on it and start it all. We can't do it if they're just trying to get you out of budget. You don't want to get out of it. Let's do it. Get out of the boat. I'm handling it all. That's what's going on. Nothing like a nice train ride, I'll tell you. This beats
This outpost is cowpoke.
As we approach the station, I do ask everyone to please remain seated. Once the train has come to a full complete stop and you've been given the all clear, you'll know it's safe to exit the train. And until that time, please remain seated. We are still in motion.
Yeah, see. That's what I was talking about. It's all that way.
Yeah, Valvy?
You make him stop doing that.
Doing what?
I'm getting noise.
That's what trains do.
Makes me stool.
You're doing it on Daddy, I don't care.
Hi folks and welcome to the Walt Disney Railroad. Adults on the inside, children on the inside, adults on the open end.
Daddy's right in the middle.
Please remain seated during the entire trip.
Hi, Bobby Balti.
Hands, arms, and feet inside the train at all times. And for the safety and convenience of all those around you, no eating, drinking, or smoking. Next stop, Fantasyland.
We're gonna get to see Fantasyland.
What?
We're gonna get to see Fantasyland real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my plans for world domination.
And this time I'm going to call for no seat swapping. And
I am all the world
we're all clear.
because nothing scares me.
All
in
aboard.
the world. And I am the all. Stop it. Stop it. Nothing will ever scare me.
My joke's not gonna work. Hold on. Oh.
No, that's not Splash, that's Thunder.
Howdy, folks. If you're just joining us, welcome aboard the Walt Disney World Railroad.
Back there's
We're
Splash.
headed for
Here's
Fantasyland
Thunder.
and to Main Street, USA. Everybody stay seated. Keep your hands and arms, feet and legs safely inside the train. And as always, keep an eye on your little ones.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
As we head into the American wilderness, we pass by the dusty desert town of Tumbleweed. Keep your eyes peeled for the runaway mine trains of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Runaway train. Now I ask, is that any way to run a railroad?
It doesn't look like there's any too big of a drop.
I feel right at home here in the prairies and forests of the American wilderness. These woods haven't changed much since the days when settlers started heading west. Nowadays, the rails can carry us safely through the wild, and a trip that used to
I
take
think I
months
can
can now
stand
be
that.
made in just a few weeks.
Yeah.
Like a
See, that's where you go for the riverboat ride.
There's plenty of deer, antelope, and elk that feed along the banks of the river. And naturally, plenty of early settlers decided to put down stakes and live here too. Of course, those early settlers weren't the first to make their home in this wild frontier. These native tribes of Plains Indians were living, hunting, and trading for centuries before we ever came along. They were the first to tame the wild horses of the American plains, long before our big old iron horses started chugging through these parts. Gateway to the rest of Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. Now, please wait until the train. Gather your belongings and carry your strollers away from the platform before you start unfolding them. That way we can start loading up for the next leg of our trip. To those of you disembarking, please watch your step. And thanks for traveling with us on the Walt Disney World Railroad. Join us again real soon. If you're staying aboard, our next stop is Main Street Station.
Hi folks, for inconvenience to those around you, no eating, drinking, or smoking while on board. Next stop, Main Street Station.
That's where we were, right?
Where?
Main Street?
Yeah.
All aboard.
I'm a man. I'm an awesome man. Here's Poppy.
Looks like we're ready to embark on the next leg of our journey. Our destination is Main Street, USA. Now, everyone stay seated and keep your hands and arms, feet and legs inside the train at all times. Oh, and please keep an eye on your children.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
Good lady.
Oh, remember these cars? You can't control
wow,
them.
they still have that here? I didn't know they still have those.
There are some who say that this steam train is a little old-fashioned, but for me, it's the only way to travel. Of course, those who prefer the highway. On the right, you just might spot some pint-sized drivers taking their first spin behind the wheel of a car. Getting from place to place is a big deal in Tomorrowland, where you might board a people mover, zip around on the Astro Orbiter, or book a flight across the galaxy at our busy starport in Space Mountain. Tomorrowland is truly a world on the move. Speaking of moving, it seems like a whole lot of new neighbors have been migrating in from all corners of the Milky Way. There's that rascally Experiment 626, better known as Stitch, always up to his usual antics. Buzz Lightyear is scouting for a few good space rangers. Even the monsters of Monstropolis have taken a shine to Tomorrowland. I hear those monsters are pretty funny. They're sure funny looking. Yep, the future is here today at the Magic Kingdom, and the future looks like a lot of fun. But after working on the railroad all the livelong day, it's nice to come home to good old Main Street, USA. Inspired by the small-town dreams of a young Walt Disney, a walk down Main Street is like stepping back into the early years of the 20th century. Of course, ours is a Main Street of the imagination, and we've got our own hometown hero, Mickey Mouse. Mickey and his friends have gathered at the Town Square Theater, and they're always happy to meet their fans.
I love you too.
We've made a complete trip around the Magic Kingdom. For those of you who've been on board for the whole journey, thanks for putting up with me these past few days. If you're staying with us, we'll be headed for Frontierland next. Right now, please stay seated until our train comes.
My brother, tell me what are we fighting for? We got to end this war. We should love one another. Oh, can't we just pretend this war never began? We can try, brother, my brother. We face each other from different sides. The anger burns, can't remember why. It's kinda crazy to cause such pain. Our foolish pride makes us hate this way. We watch our world fall apart. Tell me what good is winning when you lose your heart. Brother, my brother, tell me what are we fighting for? Isn't life worth so much more? Should love one another. Oh, can't we just pretend this war never began? Tell me why, brother, my brother.